Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Was that not an amazing rally that Trump had in South Carolina? Oh man, that was a great rally. And it's not often we get rallies that time of day. Just a lot of great things, a lot of fun things happened at that rally. But I tell you, one thing I noticed about the rally, we don't get rallies that time of day very often. I don't know, when's the last time we had an outdoor Trump rally in like the early afternoon like that? But I noticed something about this rally that was different, and that was the camera work. They had some, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but there were some camera angles that we don't normally see. Maybe we've never seen before at a Trump rally. Like there were some that were close up on his profile. There were some close-ups like from this angle, like under his face, looking up and everything else. And what I was thinking about that, about what was going on, is I bet you, Sarah Palin, I bet you that Kari Lake's husband is working somehow as an advisor on the cameras. He's a camera guy and she's a TV woman. So Kari Lake and her husband probably have taken a role, because I just thought the camera angles were better than we've seen before. It's like they've got their own cameras. They're probably working with Right Side Broadcasting too, but they've got their own cameras so that they're getting us the best possible angles, not just a steady cam dead on like we see. And I just thought that made it better. I don't know. They're always good. They're always exciting. And I like that. Another thing about the Trump rally, welcome. If you're just joining the stream, welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And you'll never hear someone who loves Trump more than me. Okay? I'm also taking calls. If you'd like to call in, it is a toll-free number. You can call me live on the stream at 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call if you'd like to talk about what you saw, the rally, how you felt, your emotional reactions. But there's another thing, too. So the first thing is we've got some new cameras, some new camera angles, and that's got to be Kari Lake and her husband, in my opinion. There's no doubt about it. The other thing was the location. This rally was right in the middle of the town square, right? I mean, it was right in like the center of the town, and they had over 30,000 people inside the area, but it's estimated 75,000 plus with the overflow and everything in the surrounding area. And it's pretty amazing when you think about this. You know, it's a big change from what Trump has been doing lately. And this one was standing room only, and that's not easy. The first Trump rally I went to in the first campaign was outside. It was hot like it was today in South Carolina, and there were no chairs. We all had to stand up, and it was tough, and we were packed in. That's how it was. They say get even more people in there. But the way that he's been doing rallies the last, I don't know, year, 6 months, however long, since this new campaign started, was he'd fly in to these airports, which are little secluded, and have rallies out in the fields at the airport. And I think that's a bit of a problem for a lot of people, because a lot of those airports are a little remote and out of the way, and a lot of people, it's hard to get there. And I think having it in the center of the town like he did was super cool and amazing. And I hope that's something that doesn't just happen this one time. I hope they continue to do it. I'm going to go through some highlights of the rally as we go on. But I wanted to talk here, though, and I'll play this clip later. But Lindsey Graham, holy smokes. Lindsey Graham just booed beyond imagination, and more than once. Trump supporters boo and call Lindsey Graham a traitor at South Carolina rally. And, he came out, he got booed when he came out to speak earlier, and then Trump mentioned his name, and they booed Actually, Trump mentioned Lindsey Graham, I think, twice, and he got booed. But the one time Trump mentioned Lindsey Graham and he got booed, he said, well, you can always depend, when you need a liberal vote, you can always depend on it. Did you catch that? I was like, oh, my goodness, that was something. But this article in The Hill, they're saying that, Lindsey's in trouble. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Supporters of President Trump booed and called South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham a traitor at the rally in the senator's home state on Saturday. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much, Graham said in response to a chorus of boos at the rally in Pickens, South Carolina. So he is as loved in South Carolina, at least in Pickens, about the same amount of love that Ron DeSantis is getting here in Florida. Hold on, I got to text my wife something. So if my wife, Kathy, if you're watching, I'm going to send you a text. Hold on. Texted my wife. Hold on, guys. Okay, don't you love text? How many of you text message like your spouse, your husband, or your wife while you're in the same house, right? Anyway, this is pretty good stuff here. I love it. Just calm down for a second. I think you'll like this, Lindsey Graham added. No one is interested in anything you have to say, all right? Lindsey Graham. We don't want to hear what you got to say, Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, who's had an on and off relationship with Trump over the years, touted the common ground that he and the former president have found at the rally as he was being booed. Remember when in the first campaign, President Trump gave Lindsey Graham's phone number out on TV. Remember that? Oh, my goodness. And then Lindsey Graham, it was his real cell phone number. And then Lindsey Graham did a TV commercial where he took his cell phone and put it in a blender or something. Oh, my God. And Lindsey Graham was all in with McCain. Lindsey Graham, you can't trust. I mean, if he's there and you need his vote, it's what Trump said, you'll use him for the vote, but you cannot trust Lindsey Graham. He is just a traitor. It took a while. To get there, folks. But let me tell you what happened. He said, "This is Lindsey Graham talking. I've come to like President Trump. I've come to like him. Well, when did this happen? Is this some new revelation? That you're coming up with, Lindsey? Is this, so you haven't liked him all these years, and now you've come to like? What is he talking about? He says, I've come to like President Trump, and he likes himself, and we got that in common, and I'm going to help him become president. So he says, I've come to like President Trump, and he likes himself. He likes himself, so we got that in common. So Lindsey Graham just said Trump's a narcissist who's in love with himself as he's being, no wonder he's getting booed. What a jerk. So then Lindsey goes on, so let me tell you how to win an election, blah, blah, blah. Well, you better find out how to win one because they hate you in South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. Oh, my goodness. What a jerk Lindsey Graham is, isn't he? Lindsey Graham, poor Lindsey. I got an itch on my back. Hold on. I got an itch that I can barely reach. Oh, man. Were any of you in my live stream this morning? And did you guys see what happened this morning, by the way? Oh, my goodness. Maybe I'll talk about that later. Oh, my goodness. If you were watching live on my live stream today, at the end, you got to see what my life is like. You guys hear me talk a lot about things that happen. You don't get to see it that often. You got to see it today. Oh, my goodness. I know. It was fun. Maybe we'll talk about that later. So let me play some clips here. I have some clips of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. This is today. Now, don't you guys think that when you see President Trump, he's like, he's de-aging. He's aging in reverse. I mean, he is the only president who comes out of the presidency looking younger. He's over 20 years older than me. And I couldn't keep up with President Trump, but I got some clips here I wanted to go through. This is a good one.
And the amazing thing, because of our crazy woke society, and I hate the word woke, actually, because nobody even has a real accurate description. And you know, the amazing...
Yeah, you know, when it comes to woke, you know, this whole thing, you know, liberals, they like to have these phrases. They're progressive, which means we're regressive. They're woke, which means we're asleep. Liberals, Democrats, they have nothing. They're wrong on all the issues. They get nothing done. There's one thing they're good at, and that's slogans. That's slogans. That's the only thing they're good at. Other than that, they're not good at much of anything, you know? But that's all they do. Oh, man. And here's another one. I love these. Maybe it's just me, but this was like the best speech. I know every time I see a Trump rally, I say to myself, that's like his best speech ever. I mean, do you guys say that to yourselves a lot too? Every time you see a speech, you're like, wow, that was the best speech Trump ever gave. That was the best rally ever. Yeah, I find myself saying that a lot too. And I think the reason that is because he's talking about what's going on right now. It's not like a stump speech. It's a speech where he's just talking about what's going on in the news right now, and because it's so relevant, what he's talking about, it makes it seem like the best speech ever. But I every time I see a Trump rally or a Trump speech, I always say that's his best speech ever. Every time. Yeah, Steve Kane, he called me when the rally. He's like, "What'd you think of the rally?" I said, "That was his best speech ever." I said, "Just boom, you know." Oh my goodness. So let's play this one here. This is about China.
The Bidens took in millions and millions of dollars from Ukraine, from Russia and from China. And now Joe has given China the green light as they open up, not even believable, military installations in Cuba.
Oh my goodness.
Just 90 miles off our coast. Think of that. And that will end as soon as I'm president. China will be leaving. They will be leaving.
Yeah. You know, I know a lot of people are talking about the Chinese spy base in Cuba, which is 90 miles from the United States, 90 miles south of Key West, 90 miles south of Florida. And I don't really get all upset about that. I mean, we got a Chinese base at the White House, right? We got a Chinese base in the Senate, got a Chinese base in the House of Representatives. They've got those Chinese police stations all over the country, including New York City. I'm sure they have some in California. And the Chinese police stations are CCP spy operations, right? Spy centers. So I know it's bad that they're in Cuba, but it is difficult for me to get upset about the Chinese spy operation in Cuba when they got their spy operations all over this country at the highest places of power. And, you know, it's so sick, twisted, and disgusting. It really, truly is. They got President Trump up on all these trumped-up charges, right? And and at the beginning of the rally, he yet again, this is at least the third time in one of his major speeches, he went through his entire defense in that, and boom, it's, you know, he's got that down. I mean, you know, they've got charges on Trump, but here we have Joe Biden, who we just in the Great Marjorie Taylor Greene Committee, they've got all the evidence, all the records, including bank records, that he took a $10 million bribe. And that's just one bribe. That's not even the only I'm sure he's been doing that his whole career in Washington, you know, is what he's been doing. Just one. But Trump's up on charges. It just really makes you sick, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, this is another great clip. I just love that rally today. I wish he would do more in the middle of the day like this, because, you know, I'm a morning person because I do the morning show. So when they're at night, I watch them, but then I go to bed. And now, and I go to bed, and my wife and I were talking about him. So it's nice that there's one early enough in the day that I can go live here on YouTube and share all my excitement with you guys about it, because I got goosebumps, you know, from that rally, even though it's been over for like, 45 minutes, an hour, because that thing he does at the end with the dramatic music just blows my mind every time. I mean, it just really does. When he goes, that part at the end, he goes, it just is so beautiful. And whoever idea that was, is whoever came up with him doing that at the end. Maybe it was President Trump. I don't know, but whoever idea it was, I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's play another clip. Hold on. Oh, wait. Hold on, let me switch over here. Here we go. The greatest president ever, Donald Trump.
Despite the Biden's flagrant corruption, the weaponized Department of Justice interfered to block the investigation against Joe and Hunter, stop felony charges, and even secretly tipped off Hunter. This just came out recently about a search of his storage units, just a little different than what they did with the gun-toting FBI agents when they raided Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
While Joe Biden used the DOJ to cover up his own crimes, he ordered his top political opponent, me, arrested. They arrested me right in the middle of our presidential election, which Joe Biden is losing by a lot.
Yeah. I mean, this is, and this is really I'll finish up that, but this is a frightening thing because, I know people love to throw around Banana Republic all the time. And you hear that all the time. It's like liberals are always talking about calling everybody Nazis and everything. And, people have been throwing Banana Republic around throughout my entire life about things that are going on in this country. And I'm not saying that they were wrong to do that in the past. But when you have the leading presidential candidate, by the way, he's not just the front runner of the Republican Party, Donald Trump. President Trump is the front runner of all the candidates, even with the Democrats, right? He's beating Biden in all the polls, right? So he's the leader by far of both parties, and they arrested him, by the way, twice. They arrested him twice. That Soros grand jury with Bragg, and then the one in Miami. And I've been telling you guys, this is, if you're new to my stream, you haven't. I'm in South Florida. I live in Palm Beach County, where Mar-a-Lago is, so I know what's going on in Florida. And this area, you got to make sure you tell all your MAGA brothers and sisters this place where the trial is set to be is in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is in St. Lucie County. This is the most MAGA area of Florida. And Florida's MAGA, right? Florida is the most MAGA state in America. There's not a state in this country that is more MAGA than Florida. And that's true. It's true. And in the most MAGA state in the country, this federal courthouse is in the most MAGA place in the most MAGA state. And the jury pool for this comes from 3 counties. St. Lucie County, which is the county the courthouse is in. Okeechobee County, which is due north, the very tip of Lake Okeechobee. And Indian River County, where Stuart, Florida is. These are the most MAGA areas ever. And I told you guys, I was at a Starbucks in St. Lucie County, where the courthouse is, not far from the courthouse. I was in Port St. Lucie in St. Lucie County, and people were wearing MAGA hats in the Starbucks. MAGA hats in the Starbucks. You ever see that? No. That's how MAGA it is, right? You got Starbucks workers that are MAGA. And that area, the area of the jury pool in this Fort Pierce trial went 71% for Trump in the last election. The trial, if it gets to trial, will be a 12-person trial. How are they going to? The best they could hope for is to get a hung jury. There's no way they're going to get 12 people in an area with a jury pool of 71% win for Trump go guilty. And plus, we've got a MAGA judge that was appointed by President Trump. So this is just a great thing. And these people on television, since they're not here in Florida like I am, they don't understand. But the prosecutor has figured it out. This corrupt, bad federal cop, he's figured it out. And he is bringing up possibly, a story came out this morning, 46 more charges against President Trump. Now, the stories on that were very vague, but what I picked up from that is he's not talking about taking 46 new charges to this great judge that we have now, but to a new grand jury, hopefully getting another judge in another case going. I can't believe that would even be allowed. But that it looks to me that that very well may be what they're looking to do, because he knows they're screwed. They don't have some hectares. Well, let's finish up with this clip of our great president.
They rigged the presidential election in 2020. We're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024.
So where we are now, without question, is a banana republic. When you arrest, you got to think about this. When you arrest the front runner, not just of the Republicans, but overall, because he's beating Biden, what's that? That's corruption. It's banana republic time. That's what they do in Mexico. That's what they do in Honduras. That's what they do in these third world narco states in Latin America, not in the United States. So we're in a whole new area now
of corruption.
Here he is talking about the special prosecutor.
When I get back in office, I will appoint a real special prosecutor to investigate every detail of the Biden crime family of corruption. When I get back
one more time
in office, I will appoint a real special prosecutor to investigate every detail of the Biden crime family of corruption.
There you go. There you go. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's these guys know what they're doing is criminal, but they think they'll get away with it because they're in power. But when he's this high in the polls and he's talking like that, they're in panic attack mode. By the way, this is one of the new camera angles that I was talking about that we saw in this rally, which I think is a pretty good one. Oh, man, I know there's just so much good stuff here. And, look at this article. Thousands of people. Look at this crowd. Somebody took this video. This is at the rally site today. Look at that. And it was a hot one, too. Some of these people camped out overnight. I saw Wonder Woman there. There's a guy in a wheelchair. That's amazing. And he's not even there yet. And look at that line to get in. Look at that. This is insane. How many people could DeSantis get together? It's just like endless. Yeah, so that's. Oh, by the way, I want to welcome in the chat, Charmaine, who's a regular in the chat, is now a moderator to the channel. So we have a new moderator here on the channel, Charmaine, joining our group of moderators who help me out a lot. Because you guys, thank all the moderators, and I thank you guys too, because when I'm doing the show every day, I do these live streams every day. And, we get you get a lot of liberal trolls and things going on. And the moderators, by the way, Kathy, my wife, is in there. I sent you a text message a few minutes ago. Check it out. I asked you, I need something, and I can't get it because I'm here. But the moderators allow me to focus on the content and not have to be distracted by trolls in the chat room. And I didn't have moderators until maybe like a year ago. And so I only could have, since I had to deal with all these liberal trolls and such, I was on like 80% into the content. Now I can focus 100% on the stream and the content and not worry about these liberal trolls. But this line is just endless. I mean, my goodness. And this freaks them out. When I say them, I'm talking about the Uniparty. They just don't get it. They don't understand why so many people love this great man, Donald Trump, and it's just, boom, it's just the way it is. Having this in the town like this is just, don't you guys think that's a great new move to do? Now, I see people bringing chairs. I don't know what the rules are for this rally, but when I want to stop down here. Hold on a second here. Now, this is an interesting thing. This is something you won't see on television, but if you've been to Trump rallies, you see this. There are always independent small businessmen selling Trump merch at rallies. And here you got an African-American guy, black guy. Does you think he's upset about the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade because of Trump? Trump put these great people on the Supreme Court. I don't think this guy minds affirmative action and college admissions being overturned. He's making bank over here at the Trump rally. He's got a nice little cart with wheels. That's a pretty good thing, But the people bringing chairs, every rally I've been to, they tell you cannot bring in your own chairs. So I don't know if they're allowing that there. So if you do it, I brought one once, and I went to Walgreens and bought a chair for $5, and they made me throw it away. But and a lot of merch tables. There's always merch tables. And the line, I mean, how long do you think this line is? It's amazing. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just endless. And I was telling my wife, we were watching the rally, when this whole era that we're in right now with President Trump, and I mean from the first campaign, through everything. We're living through the most historical presidency in the history of this country. And it may seem that way to some of you, but most people, it wouldn't seem that way. When you're living through something, most of the time, you probably don't realize its historical significance. But what President Trump has been doing for, what is it, 7 years now or 8 years? How many years ago did he come down the escalator? 8, right? 8 years ago, President Trump came down the escalator in 2015. President Trump, for 8 years, and think about this, for 8 years, has been able to turn out full crowds in arenas, in venues like this, full crowds. What musical act on tour could do that with no notice, by the way? No notice for 8 years. Not many. Some big superstars, maybe. But no. And he fills up venues of every size. He might be in an airport, it might be a field, it might be a runway, it might be the center of town, or it might be an indoor arena. I like the indoor arena ones better because it's so hot and humid in Florida. The indoor arenas are air conditioned, and Trump always makes sure that they have the air conditioner turned down so it's cool inside. You might have heard him talk about that on something. No other president ever has, and never will again, be able to turn people out like this. There has never been a president that has the love of the people like this guy. This is such a historical moment that you guys just really do not understand. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to go grab something. I'll be right back. I got to grab something out of the other room. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hold on. I didn't have to go anywhere. I had it right here. I wanted to tell you guys about, I had it right over here on the right. The Mighty MAGA Lion. I thought I left the Mighty MAGA Lion in the living room. This is the Mighty MAGA Lion. Isn't this cool? It says 45 on the side, MAGA on the front, and of course, same hair color as Trump. And this is available exclusively through us right here at MightyMAGALion.com. MightyMagaLion.com. This is incredible. This is going to be the big Christmas gift of the Christmas season. My wife, Kathy, and I, we partnered up with Dee, who's one of the moderators in my live stream chat for the Mighty Maga Lion, and this is our design and our product. You cannot get it anywhere else other than MightyMagaLion.com. And I know a lot of you already bought yours, and it's also a great way to support my stream, my channel, and all of my content. MightyMagaLion.com. All right, I love this guy, and 45 there on this. Isn't that cool? Pretty cool, huh? Yep. And he's cuddly. He's cuddly. So here's Lindsey Graham getting booed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Lindsey Graham.
Wow. I mean, that is brutal. And I'll tell you what. If Ron DeSantis had an event here in Florida, that's what he would get. Now, he's not doing anything in Florida. He's traveling all over the country, doing all kinds of things other than being Florida. But if he did and I don't mean he could do a controlled event in some diner or something and have people in there that were friendly. But if he went and just did an outdoor venue, Ron DeSantis in Florida, where, keep in mind, he is the sitting governor of Florida, he would get booed just like that. And there's no getting around it. Now, I wanted to show you guys this. This is a cool thing, and some of you may not have had this experience. Some of you may have had it. But every once in a while, like there was one day last week, Trump Force One's home base is here in Florida at the airport that I drive by on the way to and from work every day. And last week, one morning, I just went to the airport and Trump Force One was there. Even though President Trump was in New Jersey, they seem to keep it here. But I've seen Trump Force One fly over with the president on it. Saw him fly over on Air Force One many times in his first term. And Trump Force One flew over the rally crowd here, and they go nuts. Listen. Oh, by the way, look at all the people. That's amazing. See, there it comes. Trump Force One, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the skies for the return of Trump Force One to South Carolina. Put your hands together for your favorite president, Donald J. Trump!
Oh, man. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it is so super cool. Oh, man. I remember on Inauguration Day when Trump came home, Biden's Inauguration Day, when Trump came home, and I was out there, and Air Force One flew over with the boss in it. It was so cool. And I like Trump Force One better than Air Force One. And if you're here in South Florida, or if you ever visit down here, go to the Palm Beach Airport. You can get in touch with me somehow. Send me a DM. I tell people all the time how to go and see Trump Force One. Sometimes when I go to Mar-a-Lago, there's tourists there all the time. And if I see tourists there, 'cause a lot of tourists come, they want to see Mar-a-Lago, I'll tell them how to get up close to Trump Force One, and people don't even know, and they don't know how to get there, but you can get really, really, really close to it. Now, this here is the control room of Trump's people that are handling all the screens and the cameras during the rally. And I don't know who this is. I don't know. Is that Carrie Lake's husband? I just have a feeling that Carrie Lake and her husband are working
billions, probably
on this campaign. The camera angles are just too good. Oh yeah, the weather was perfect today.
We appointed nearly 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, including the federal judge that is handling the Trump documents case trial. That's my favorite one of the judges.
We appointed nearly 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices. And this week, those justices ruled to move our country forward with a merit-based system of education. How big is that? Isn't that big? Isn't that great?
That means the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
In other words,
I'm sorry. The overturning of, I made a mistake. I misspoke. The overturning of affirmative action. I'm getting like Biden.
if you're a worker and you worked very hard in school, you got fantastic marks, somebody that hasn't done nearly as well, who perhaps has not worked nearly as hard, will not be taking your place on a school, college, or at a university. They're not going to be. We're going by merit. We're back to the old merit system that built our country. That was a big one.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a merit system. To get into college, you have to actually make the grades. Isn't that something? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. It was just a great rally. I mean, there's no getting around it. Now, there's another angle here. This is a pretty cool angle of the rally that someone took. This, I don't know if this was Dan Scavino, but yeah, watch this. Look at all those people. That's where the fake news are. I mean, and President Trump, he even said the crowd's going back so far he could not even see the end of the crowd. So the crowd went back so far he couldn't even see the end of it, which was absolutely just an amazing thing. Now, the Democrats, I know these people. The Democrats, they send somebody out. They send somebody out and to heckle President Trump. Look at this. This is President Trump on his way to the rally. I'm going to have to apologize for the language in advance, but there's a Democrat that's going to be talking here.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
He's yelling, lock him up, lock him up. Can't even get his own line.
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Traitor!
Oh, this is yesterday at the Moms for Liberty event. Traitor.
Here comes the traitor! 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 Traitor!
Now someone's yelling F you, a female voice. I don't know if she's yelling F you to President Trump or to this jerk with the little kid's little horn there. See, what do you see there? All you see from liberals is unhinged hate, unhinged rants. I mean, they're just very emotional. I mean, give me a break. I mean, they got these people. Oh, my goodness, guys. Oh, my goodness. But you know what? The reason they're so flipped out is because why? Because we are winning. And they can't stand it. They just don't understand why Trump is double digits ahead in the poll. I mean, he's like over 40 points ahead. Coming up on 50 points ahead in some of these polls. Yeah, the liberals don't stand for anything. They think they do. They're against things, right? And that's now. Caitlin Collins here on CNN. She's the one who was humiliated in the Trump town hall. CNN anchor Caitlin Collins laughed out loud as At the claims of President Trump's pundits that the charges against him are nothing, Trump made this is Mediaite, by the way, which is very liberal. They're a bunch of Trump haters at Mediaite. Trump made the claim during a speech for the group Moms for Liberty in Philadelphia, where he said this in regard to his legal jeopardy that he's facing. It turns out with me, I did nothing wrong. They got me on nothing. And all of the things that they do have, it's like the pundits are saying, wow, that's nothing. And you know what? He is right. He is right. And Caitlin Collins, who I just don't like looking at, I'm not going to play the audio because I really don't want to listen to her voice. That's exactly right. They got nothing. And they know they've got nothing. That's why that corrupt prosecutor is talking about 46 new charges, because he knows he's got nothing on the first round of charges. Now here's the president again. This is also Friday with the Moms for Liberty. I think this came from Dan Scavino. Here's President Trump. He got out of the vehicle. He's meeting the crowd. Look at this. Isn't that something? I mean, look at this. Look at these cops. They're glowing. Philadelphia, right? Is this Philadelphia? Yeah, that's Philadelphia. These are Philadelphia police officers. They're glowing. You're my hero. You're my hero. I love you.
We love you.
Come here, Barry, come. All right, what we got? Most powerful man. We love you, Mr. President.
Oh, does this black lady look upset that the Supreme Court overturned affirmative action in regards to college admissions? She doesn't seem to be upset. It doesn't seem to faze her.
Yeah, I'm a front row Joe. I wait.
Oh, here's another. Does this guy here look upset that Trump overturned affirmative action?
8 years to me.
Yes.
My house is fully decorated.
Yes, really is. She was the
My house is fully decorated with you.
I live in Madison. That's my cousin.
Look, more black people. Look at all these black people showing up, loving on Trump, at the day that affirmative action is overturned by the Trump Supreme Court. I'm glad these pundits are upset for these people that really don't seem to care. Oh my goodness, he's signing Trump bucks. Look at that. That's a Trump $100 bill he's signing. He's paying for everybody, and he's signing. He's signing the money that he's paying with. Is that a Trump sticker on a real C-note? Oh, my goodness. Oh, and look how young his hands look. This guy, he's de-aging. Oh, man. Is that beautiful? Pretty diverse crowd, isn't it? Oh, my goodness. You know, that cheesesteak restaurant, I was talking about this on the live stream this morning. If I was there and President Trump bought me a Philly cheesesteak, I would not eat it. I would seal it. I'd go to Hobby Lobby. I'd get me a case. I'd seal and preserve. I'd find some way to get all the air out of it. I would preserve that Trump Philly cheesesteak sandwich from all my life. That would be like a family heirloom. Could you imagine? Wouldn't that be amazing to have? Would you guys like to have it? Would you eat the cheesesteak that Trump bought you? Or would you save it? Oh my goodness. This is just an exciting thing. If you're joining us right now live, make sure you subscribe. This is the most MAGA place you'll find anywhere. This is where MAGA comes to talk. My name's Brian, and you will love my channel, I promise you. Now, this is really super cool. This is something that I have never seen before. This has got to be Dan Scavino. That right there, that's the back of President Trump's head. That is the Trump hat that he's wearing. And this is a camera angle behind President Trump in the tent as he's being introduced. Thanks, Bruce, for the super chat. Thank you kindly. This is super cool. Watch this. Is that cool? That is amazing. Look at that. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, these are just things you don't see anywhere else. Look at that. As far as the eye can see, people. A sea of people. And there he is, the greatest president ever. Secret Service. It's just super cool. It's just super cool. Is there anyone in the live stream who has not been to a Trump rally? If you've not been to one, you got to go to at least one. I've been to so many, I couldn't even begin to count. And it's an amazing experience. Is that Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles? Kathy and I watched 16 Candles last night. I think that's is Long Duck Dong MAGA? I don't know. But you know, when you go to Trump rallies or any Trump event, you see a lot of Chinese and Vietnamese people. And they have signs up, Vietnamese for, you know, Trump, Chinese for Trump and all that stuff. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. And this is why they hate him, because the people love him. I mean, they're as far as they can get, all the way back, as far as you can see. They're up against the walls of the buildings. This is insane. You know, President Kennedy couldn't get crowds like this. For 8 years? No way. No way. Look at that. You know, I tell you guys a lot, when you go to the rallies, you can see this. When you're watching on TV, the people behind the president look like they're like right here where he's standing when he's at the podium, but you can see how far back they are from the podium, and that's closer than normal. I mean, this is just, it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. Oh, man. And they'll never understand it. They'll never understand it. Yeah, this is the Mighty MAGA Lion that's available at MightyMAGALion.com, exclusively through us here, MightyMAGALion.com. Get yours. Super cool. That's a Trump lion. 45 on the side, MAGA on the front. Pretty awesome. MightyMAGALion.com. And, of course, when you do that, you're supporting all of my content. Now, here's another video. This is another video that someone took at the rally today. Look at this crowd. I mean, this is... Look at that. I mean, this just blows my mind.
Hey, Drew boy. Drew.
It's not just long, it's wide.
Anybody else?
This is just amazing. And look how friendly everyone is to everybody, you know, because you got a bond. You know, everyone bonds together.
Now you registered.
Trump, all the way.
That's right, Trump, baby. Oh, this is the guy we saw before. I mean, it just keeps going, and it's, I don't know, how many people thick is that as you go? They're trying to keep the sun off of them with the great American flag. That's something you don't see at a Democrat rally. Oh, man. Australian MAGA, welcome. Australian MAGA. Well, you know, President Trump has united the English-speaking world. I mean, there's no getting around that. Now, look at this. I saw this article today, The Hill. I tweeted this. What if Biden goes to prison instead of Trump? Yeah, right. It's like they never thought about that, have they? This is an opinion article. But the most valuable employee or political advisor is the one who will analyze, unbiased review, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to read all that. But what if Biden goes to prison instead of Trump? He's the one that's gotten busted doing all this crime, right? I mean, you know, just what he did with the Chinese spy balloon issues is proof that he's on the payroll of China. He's their employee of the month. The $10 million bribe. You know, I was reading this weekend, or during the week, I wanted to talk to you about it this weekend, that in this child support settlement that Hunter did with the stripper that has the, you know, part of that is his little daughter, Joe Biden's granddaughter, Hunter's child with the stripper. I hate to keep calling that, but you know, that's what people know her as. That she's not allowed to take the Biden name. Can you imagine? She's not allowed to take the Biden name. As if that's some honorable thing. To me, the Biden name means sleaze, scumminess, criminality, you know. But a little girl like that, we know what a scumbag Hunter and Joe are. I mean, this is obvious. I mean, we know what scummy people they are. But, you know, a child that is the daughter of a stripper, that's not a good life to be born into if your mother's a stripper. It just really isn't. I mean, the chances of that girl going down a very bad path is more than 50%, right? And someone like that, having a famous name, even if it's a scummy one like Biden, that's something that down the road might help her get into college, might do something. And they can't even let her have that. Like, as scummy as Joe and Hunter are, they think that they are too good for her, right? And where are all these women from the Me Too movement that are always standing up for other women? Really, where are they? Now, our Benedict Arnold governor here in Florida, you may have heard, has now finally become a millionaire. That's right, from his book deal, $1.25 million on his book. I did buy that book. I did read the first, 80-some pages before I threw it away, and I did throw it away in the gas station garbage can. Now he's got, he's worth $1.25 million. He just got paid. Guy doesn't own a car. Maybe he'll buy a car now. But this is I believe is his inauguration this past year. And look at DeSantis' wife. She's dressed like Melania. She's doing cosplay. Right? Now, I usually don't fault someone for becoming a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'd like to become one, If you guys could buy like 1 million of the Mighty MAGA Lions, maybe you could help me. I still wouldn't be as rich as DeSantis, but go to MightyMAGALion.com. No, but I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even close to being a millionaire. But, Ron DeSantis, this is the first payoff, the fake book deal. And I bought that book because I had to read it to do my job, to be able to talk about it and talk about him and cover these issues. But I want to ask an honest answer from you. I want a very honest answer in the chat room. If you're not watching live and you're watching later, let me know in the comments. Did you buy Ron DeSantis' book, yes or no? How many people really bought that book? How many people actually just organically bought that book? Now, think about that. Do you think enough real people bought that book for him to become a millionaire? Or do you think the Republicans did bulk buying of it to make him a millionaire? See, this is how they do their payoffs. Book deals, and then they do huge bulk orders, and then they give the books away or throw them away. I don't know. But DeSantis has, for many, many months now, has been hated by MAGA voters, which are the bulk of the voters for the Republican Party in this country. Who the hell would buy Ron DeSantis' book with everything he's pulled? Now, these are bulk buys. This is the first payoff, and they made him a millionaire, but not too big of a millionaire, just a $1.25 million. They've made him just a little over $1.25 million millionaire, just to give him a little taste. Yeah, bulk buying rhinos. That's right. Bulk buying rhinos, bulk buying rats. Republicans against Trump. This is total bullshit, the sales of this book. I don't care what they say. So, the thing about... Yeah, come on, give me a break. Other than me, No one else in this stream bought it, and I just bought it for work, and then I could only read about 88 pages, and I threw it away because it was just making me so pissed off at him. But this is them giving him a little taste. See, we just made you a millionaire, just $1.25 million, but this is just a taste of what's to come if you play ball with us, Ronnie. That's exactly what they're doing. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone else, if you're already subscribed, do me a favor and check and make sure you are. A lot of times, people think they're subscribed and they're not because you watch my content. I get recommended in your feed, so you think that you are subbed and you're not. So please go and make sure you're subscribed and subscribe. And everyone, please like the video because that helps grow the channel too. And when you do all that, go to MightyMagaLion.com and buy your Trump Mighty Maga Lion. MightyMagaLion.com. My name's Brian Craig. Thanks everyone for watching. It was a great rally. I'll see you next